A father and his daughter are playing in the park. His young daughter discovered a vendor selling apples. She asked her father to buy an apple. The father didn't bring a lot of money, but it's enough to buy 2 apples. So he bought 2 apples for his daughter. His daughter holds an apple in each hand. Then, the father asked her if she could share an apple with him. Hear this. His daughter quickly took a bite from an apple before her father spoke. She also bit the second apple. The father was very surprised. He wants to know what mistakes he made in raising children, making her so greedy. His heart was immersed in contemplation. Maybe he just thought too much. His daughter is still too young to understand sharing and giving. The smile disappeared from his face. Suddenly, his daughter, holding an apple in one hand, said, "Father, eat this. This one has more juice and a sweeter taste." Her father was speechless. He feels guilty about drawing conclusions so quickly, but his smile has returned. Don't judge or draw conclusions about children too quickly. In their small hearts, they have their own beauty. In Germany, there was an old lady who took the train every day, and each time she rode the train, she would always sit by the window and scatter seeds outside. This was something she did every day, without exception. One day, a curious gentleman sat nearby and asked, "What are you scattering outside the window?" The old lady smiled and replied, "These are rose seeds. This road is barren and lacks flowers. I'm scattering these seeds, hoping that one day people can see beautiful roses blooming here." The man sneered, dismissively saying, "How can these roses grow by the roadside? These seeds need water." The old lady, still optimistic, said, "I believe the rain will help these seeds germinate and grow." The man tried to persuade her not to waste time and money on the seeds, but the old lady just smiled, changed her seat, and continued her daily habit of scattering seeds. Months passed, and one day the same man sat by the train window, surprised to see that the roadside was full of beautiful roses. What was once a barren stretch of land was now fragrant and colorful. He remembered the old lady and asked the conductor about her situation. The conductor replied, "She passed away last month." The man returned to his seat, gazing at the brilliant flowers, and felt a deep emotion in his heart. The flowers had bloomed, but the poor old lady never got to see them. What had she gained from this? Just then, he heard a little girl in the seat in front of him excitedly say, "Daddy, look! These flowers are so beautiful. I've never seen such pretty flowers before." The man finally understood the true meaning of the old lady's actions. Although she had never witnessed the beauty of these flowers herself, she brought endless joy and beauty to others. The passengers on the train, including that little girl, all felt happiness and gratitude because of her selfless actions. The man realized that true giving doesn't lie in whether you personally witness the results, but in whether you can bring beauty to others. What the old lady left behind was the fragrance and joy she had created for others. Her kindness was etched into people's hearts, and everyone who passed that road felt deeply touched by her selfless dedication. A man had a lovely daughter, and he doted on her deeply because she was the only family he had in the world. One day his daughter fell ill. He was so anxious that he immediately took her to see a doctor. However, the doctor told him that with the current level of medical technology, it was impossible to cure her illness. The man broke down in tears upon hearing this, but he did not give up. Instead, he took his daughter to seek medical help everywhere. Nevertheless, all his efforts were futile, and the little girl eventually passed away due to her illness. Since then, the father had become a changed man. He locked himself in his room and lived in sorrow. Every day, he drank heavily all day and refused any concern from his friends. One night, he had a dream. In the dream, he went to heaven and witnessed a grand celebration of little angels. The angels formed a line and passed by a large white throne. Each of them held a candle in their hands. He noticed that one little angel's candle was not lit. Curious, he walked closer and found that the little angel was actually his daughter. Tears streamed down his face as he excitedly hugged her and looked at her tenderly. He asked Baby, "Why is only your candle not lit?" She replied, "Daddy, they often try to relight my candle, but your tears always put it out." At that moment, he woke up with a start, and his eyes were blurred with tears, but the dream also taught him a lesson from then on. From then on, he no longer indulged in negativity, but faced life positively. His friends were happy to see him emerge from despair, and from then on, his daughter's candle was never extinguished by his tears. A professor came to teach college students. "What's your name?" "My name is Alex." "Alex, please leave my class." "I don't want to see you in my classroom again." The girl was confused. "I don't understand." "I don't want to repeat it again. Thank you." The girl had to pack up and leave the classroom. The classmates in the classroom chose to be indifferent. Why do we need laws, or what is the role of laws? To protect personal rights. The professor felt a little disappointed. To maintain social order. The professor was still not satisfied. Fairness and justice. Yes, thank you. Tell me, did I treat your classmate unfairly just now? The classmates nodded. Yes, I was unfair. Then why didn't you protest? Why didn't anyone try to stop me? Why didn't anyone want to stop this injustice? You didn't speak up just now because you thought you weren't affected. Speaking up might be disadvantageous to yourself and your future life. You thought it was none of your business. What I want to tell you is that if you don't contribute to justice, then sooner or later you may encounter injustice, and no one will speak for you. Truth and justice require the joint efforts of all of us. Because in life and work, we live in each other's environment, but we don't help each other. We comfort ourselves by saying that other people's problems have nothing to do with me, and then go home with a lucky joy. However, injustices happen every day, such as in business, sports events, or on the subway. Relying on a few people to uphold justice is far from enough. In fact, we should stand up for each other. We have the obligation to fight for the rights of others and speak for those who can't speak. I am here to tell you the power of voice. I hope you learn critical thinking and let us have the courage to uphold justice, even if it means standing on the opposite side of everyone. Let's start now. A couple moved to a new house in a small town. One morning, the wife saw through the window that the neighbor was drying clothes. Seeing this, the wife said to her husband, "Jackson, look at how dirty our neighbor's clothes are over there." The husband was busy reading a book and paid no attention to it. Another day, the same scene happened again, and she said to her husband, "Maybe it's because her soap is not good or she doesn't know how to wash clothes correctly." Even after washing, the clothes still looked dirty. For some time, every time the wife saw the neighbor drying clothes, she would be surprised at how dirty the clothes were and wondered why they couldn't be washed clean. So she said to her husband, "We should teach her how to wash clothes." However, the husband remained silent about this matter. One morning, the wife woke up and looked out the window, suddenly screaming in surprise, "Oh, the clothes look particularly clean today. Maybe our neighbor finally learned how to wash clothes." The husband said, "It's not her. I just woke up earlier today and cleaned our window." Sometimes our perspective can affect our view of things. Before judging others, we should objectively understand the situation and avoid unnecessary misunderstandings and prejudices.